Hello everybody and welcome to a new video here on this channel. We thought we do like a little week recap. It feels like we had a lot of downs in the past, quite a lot of like bad news, but yeah, maybe we can start with a positive thing. We had our first training session. We give courses about the common hamster and mapping fields and the technique and the methods. We train environmental bureaus or companies who plan environmental things outside. We had our first training session this year. We had very good feedback. So this was like an up. Let's go outside. So we are outside now. This is also something we try to do as often as we can. After lunch we go just out like 10-15 minutes here to the river, checking out the beaver signs, the fresh signs, just to calm down and yeah, relax a little bit. And as I told you, we also had a lot of downs in the past days. So the first thing is that we had a tendering we were part of. So especially in our niche of the business, there is always or really often the way of getting jobs that you have to write an application, and the organizations or businesses, they want to produce a video. They collect applications of at least 3 different companies, and yeah, the best application wins and gets the job. And you have to do a lot of work for this kind of applications. You have to make a real concept. You have to write script or screenplay. You have to do like a visual concept. So a lot of work. I think we had about 20 pages or something. It was a really cool project, really cool kind of doc style image film. And yesterday we got the message that we will not get a job, so they decided for another company. And we googled the company and we didn't find any Google entry or website, and we asked them, and it seems that they are not a real company, more like a freelancer collective. And 99% of this kind of applications, the point why you don't get it is the price. So you have like a reference system, you get points for different parts of your application. The price is most often the most important part. So yeah, maybe I'm a bad loser, but it's hard when you're a professional production company to lose against like semi-professionals because of the price. And because they are semi-professionals in this kind of production, they can offer like cheaper prices, and yeah, that's hard to deal with it. And it's also hard to plan like in a financial or yeah, in your business way, because you always put so much work into this kind of applications. And this is also something, a second part or second point where we had a lot of trouble in the last days. We had in the past a job for a very big company. We finished it. It was a consulting job, species consulting for the common hamster. They wanted to do a project, and yeah, we did a consulting. And now we wrote our invoice and they say, no, we don't want to pay it. For I don't really understand the reason. They said there was no real contract or something. But in the end, it's like we are such a big company, and what will you do? You're a small production company, you can't do anything against us, and we don't want to pay it. And now, yeah, we had our first talk to a lawyer already, and now we have to decide if we want to go to court and try to get our money. You put a lot of work in a job, and at the end you get no money paid, and you have really to fight for your rights, so fight for your money just to get your invoices paid. Yeah, not that much fun. So something I was also doing the last days a lot is like prepping or reorganizing all of our stuff. That's something I do most often in the winter period when we have not that much to film outside, and it's something I really like to do because organizing and have your stuff ready to shoot is something really important and part of like being professional, to have all your gear cleaned up and labeled and ready for access. So I labeled all of our lenses, and I labeled most of our camera bodies, so like A cam, B cam, etc. And here these are the ranges of the lenses, our batteries and everything. We had a lot of Lumix bodies here, so this is our GH4 system. We converted a lot of GH4 bodies to night cameras, to infrared bodies. These are our day GH4 bodies for like automated systems. What I also did the last days was labeling and reorganizing also here our main gear in this area. These are all like accessories. These are, as you see at the labeling, Sony batteries. I get this new like bags. They are fireproof and water resistant. And what I did, I sewed this labeling on it, so you can change it. What's really cool, I had like an ad for a really expensive similar system for like camera bags and gear bags and everything, and I thought maybe I can do this like cheaper. Now I can label all of them, and yeah, I have now like here, for example, for the Sony batteries, new bags. This is, for example, our set bag. I make this clean. We have now a new surface, a clean surface on it, and here are also new labelings. When, for example, the batteries are empty, you can label them as empty and write it on these tags here. Yeah, this is something I do for when I need like a little working break. I'm reorganizing everything. So over winter it was time to reorganize also all of our hard cases, all of our boxes here, and get them ready for spring season when we start to shoot again. I enjoy it to have like organized boxes. You can just, for example, now for this very little shoot here, YouTube shoot, we just can grab our audio box and there's everything in it, like our cables, everything, then our main camera mic when we're doing more like ambient sound recording, our lavalier microphones, everything you need for sound. And audio is now in this box. So yeah, just a little example. I think I will have fun also do an extra video just for how I organize all my stuff, and maybe it's also interesting for you, because prepping is a big part of film production actually. So you have to come prepared to a film shoot. Other downside of the week or the past days, 8 or 9 days, was that our YouTube earnings were on hold, or we get no YouTube earnings because we had a new AdSense account. We had to switch our AdSense accounts to a new account for our company, and in this period we get really no earnings from YouTube, and we didn't know this before we started this whole process. Maybe a short explanation why we had to do this. So for the past years I worked as a freelancer or self-employee, so I had a an individual business, it's called in Germany. And Heide, who is behind the camera, worked as also as a self-employee for me, so as a contractor. And from this year on, so starting at the 1st of January, we merged the two businesses we run into a single company called now Wild Whiskers Media. And it's like a partnership company here in Germany. And yeah, for this we had to run all of our administration and tax clarification, everything again. And in this whole process we had also to make a new Google AdSense account, because the former account was just for me as an individual person. We built up the new AdSense account, connected it, and then it says, yeah, it can last up to 2 or 3 weeks before we connect the new AdSense account. And yeah, this was really a mess, because our YouTube views are getting higher and higher for the past weeks, which was really, really cool to see. Like the graph is going up all the way, and it was really cool to see this growth on the channel. Yeah, it was like not that cool to see that YouTube stopped all of our earnings and all of the monetization. But today I checked the AdSense account this morning, and it was really cool to see that we are now finally back in the game, hopefully, to earn some money with our YouTube channel. And this is something not many people here on YouTube, I think especially in Germany, we don't talk about money. So it's a shame to ask people, what do you earn? But for us, to be honest, it is also a point to earn something with YouTube. And it's like a logical step for us. We are a production company. So we live from our documentaries, but mainly we live from documentaries like in the traditional media way. So we have our films on Amazon Video, or we sell them on DVD, or we get fundings and sponsorings for the production of these films. But YouTube is also something we really want to build up, and we have a really fun of doing YouTube. And so it's also a thing like to earn even a small amount of money, to make this work for us, because in the end we live from our films and we also have to pay our rent and everything. So we are happy that we are finally back in the game, and I hope it's a positive sign after all the bad news and a really hard work of the past days. So let's go here on YouTube. But coming to a more positive thing, a lot of our work in the week is going into post work for our upcoming main documentary, The Last Common Hamster. We are really far, I can say. I don't know if I want to drop when we are done, but yeah, constantly that's our main thing. We work the whole day on it, is like editing here in the studio. So Heide is doing, or finished already, I think, like our trail camera footage. So we had hours trail camera footage of this project. So Heide is working in this project as a post-editing assistant and is preparing the trail camera footage for me and is putting them into sequences, and I go then in the pre-checked and pre-sighted sequences, and then I do the final editing as in supervisor editing of the sequences. And also I edit all of the main camera, A and B camera footage. But maybe this is also, I have it on my YouTube list to how I organize my post-processing work for like this main documentary feature-length documentaries, because it's a lot of also organizing and don't mess up all of the footage. Yeah, so this is the part of editing, and this is really the main part of the week, I think. I hope you liked this rough insight into my last week. If you want to see more like this studio vlogs besides the more adventurous parts of our job, comment below, and I hope to see you very, very soon. Bye bye.